Hi guys, my name is Gerry and this is the photo chat on Wild Eye. I want to start off and say thanks to all the guys who, let's call it, engaged this weekend. Lots of emails, some Facebook things, Twitter things with regards to the photo tip last Friday, now a couple of days ago. The gist of it was, in case you missed it, is all too often photographers shoot on their own in their little bubble without wanting to share, without wanting to get in touch with other people, without wanting to engage. Now, it just so happened the last while for me there was a lot of engaging happening, and it's a great thing, not just online but in real life as well, and that's important. I met up, so a big shout out to Shem, Andy, Mark, Rian, Yaku, all the guys who made contact face to face, and then a whole bunch of you that also just dropped an email and said thanks, love the idea, needs to happen more of. So don't stop on that, keep going, very important. It's also, I mean, it's what the Facebook and Twitter thing starts. We need to keep on going because ultimately you can only take your craft, whether it be feedback or comment on other people's work, so far online. You need to shoot with someone, you need to meet out in the field, look at how someone else does it, spend time waiting for things, and that's ultimately when you start talking, when you start learning, and when you grow as a photographer. So that was the photo tip last Friday. For this week, a couple of things. First off, I picked up an interesting coffee table book from Sand Parks when I was in Kalahari recently. Looks like this. Yep, it's the Arid Park Captured Experiences. Now, this was a competition that was run over a year or so for all the arid parks, which include then the Kalahari, the Ais, Richtersveld, Grabie's Falls, Namakwa, Tanka, Karoo and Mokala. Now what makes this interesting, this is not necessarily a coffee table book put together by some other photographer wanting to showcase their work. These are all entries into different competition categories that was then compiled into a book. Interesting sequences such as that. See, and then it keeps going all the way to landscapes and things like those. Some of these you might have seen online because a lot of them have shared them online. And what I like about this is there are some fantastic images, but there's also some things that are not necessarily world class. However, and this is the important thing, it comes back to sharing. People have now, they've taken the time to take the picture and do something with it, not just stick it on a Facebook album somewhere. You need to print it, enter it into competition. If there's a compilation book like this thing happening, send it in, maybe you get your work in there. There really is nothing like seeing your own work in print, in a hard that you can touch and feel, and if you're very excited about it, rub yourself up on it, whatever the case is. It's so if you do get, I haven't seen this on the mainstream market yet, but there's some stunning stuff in there, yeah. But if you do get to any of those parks, I'm sure you'll find them there. Maybe even online. So definitely want to check out. There's some fantastic wildlife stuff in, and if you know these parks, then it'll make you very homesick. So check this out. That's the cover again. Arid Parks of Southern Africa, Captured Experience. Nice one. Now, this last week, as you probably know from all the interaction on Facebook and social media, we've had Jay Collier out here. Wild Eye hosted Jay Collier, and he's from Canon Professional Services Australia. He manages the professional business side of things there for all the guys. So the professionals who are using Canon, they get preferential treatments and. So the interesting thing is, first off the bat, when we started advertising this presentation he was going to do, which was called Wildlife Photography, a Canon Perspective, the amount of people that said, oh shit, I shoot Nikon, it's like, oh god, you so missed the point. Because the point is this: the better you understand not only your own equipment, but how any camera functions, how the autofocus tracking works, how what the lenses does when they zoom and this and that. So I had a couple of folk come in who shoot Nikon, and they were very impressed, not only by the products but more by the presentation thereof. So big shout out to Jay, awesome stuff. Thanks buddy, it was great having you here for the week, and enjoy your trip to Botswana. What we're going to do is probably in the next week, when things slow down a bit and I get some time, I'm going to put together just a little presentation report, a couple of images, if I can a little bit of a video clip, because we did film the whole thing. I might stick some of that in there for you. But it also got me thinking. I mean, honestly, there was nothing really that Jay said that I did not know as such, but what was great is someone else explaining the same principle in a slightly different way. So it might give me an idea just to try something different again, which I haven't for a while, or oh, that's an interesting way for me to present it on my next course, for example. So the nice thing is, even if you think you know everything, don't get into the bubble, which we spoke about on Friday. Still go out and share. Still go out and listen to presentations. Still go out if there's a workshop on, I don't know, macro photography. Go out there, because even if you know all the content, it's great, number one, to engage with the photographers, get some inspiration, and also then just learn along the way some things you might have forgotten. So definitely awesome stuff. Now, I'm going to throw this out there to you guys in South Africa. I'm looking for someone from Nikon South Africa to do the same thing, to present wildlife photography and Nikon perspective. Right. However, the bar has been set pretty damn high, because apart from great images, Jay's technical knowledge of the products, of not just what autofocus is but how it works, but it goes like 3 steps further. In camera, what happens on the actual sensor, the little light nodules, the little lenses on the, how everything works. So I'm keen to arrange something with Nikon South Africa to do the same thing. Nothing to do with a pissing contest between brands. I'm just keen to find out more. Anybody has any ideas of who would be able to present that kind of thing at a very high level, let me know, and we'll set it up for next year sometimes. Great fun. Also, what was nice, sorry, just to hop on about it, guys like David Oosthuizen, Craig was out there, sure, who else, Darren Smith, all the guys popping in from Twitter, awesome stuff. Such a powerful medium. Use it, follow us, it's a great idea. Blog post for last week, right, so off the cuff, it was very slow, because we were running around like crazy things in the office for Monday, Tuesday, getting ready for our presentation there. And then also the rest of the week, we've got a couple of big things coming up this week, so we're just kind of preparing, but also we spent some time shooting. So on Thursday, well, it was a Friday morning, we head out to Morrievale, bird sanctuary out in the southeastern somewhere parts of Gauteng. Fantastic, we had a couple of photographers there. Now, I'm not huge on the bird photography as such. Look, I enjoy it, but I'm not like your, who's the big names, Chris Vreneman, Albert Vreneman, Chris van Rooyen. I know there's Gerry van Vieren, who sits at Pilansburg in the mornings. Hello, Gerry. Does some fantastic stuff there. But we had a good jaw. Weather was a bit dodgy, but we did get interesting images, and that's what it's about. Again, learning with other people and just trying different things. Try the surround assist auto tracking function. Try your rear focus, whatever the case is. Try different things. And with fast moving subjects like bird, awesome stuff. Yesterday, 2 days ago, when was Saturday? See, it's all a mess. 2 days ago, Saturday, we drove up to the Pilansburg, just Andrew Beck, Jay and myself, just to kind of get out into the bush and just shoot some stuff. Now, the sightings was pretty quiet, but the place is looking phenomenal. They did some good grass burning, so the burning stuff was all done. With the rain they've had, it is green, the landscapes are fantastic. We went up into one of the top of the very top of the hills, and looked down, and the stuff, it is just beautiful. But still, decent sighting of rhino, elephant, giraffe, general game, good stuff, great fun. And one of the things that was interesting as well is sitting with a whole bunch of zebra drinking early in the morning, and how you can try different lenses, because that's the problem as well. And this takes me to the next thing I want to chat about, is choice of lenses. So yesterday I was shooting with a 70-200 with a 1.4 converter on it, and I had a 14-24. That's it, both on full frame cameras. So it was a fixed. That was what I was shooting with. And in the past, because of Madikwe, where I worked for a while, the backgrounds there are crappy. It's always sickle bush and busy, so you get used to focusing too tight. Everything gets in too tight to the camera. Now, I think a lot of people are like that. When they get into wildlife photography, they start spinning into the idea of more focal length, more focal length, more focal length. And then you start comparing things on review sites, and what should I get, what shouldn't I get. Guys, it's horses for courses. You need to decide what your main focus is going to be. Do you need fast tracking? Do you need more telephoto lens? Do you need the ability to put converters on there? All of those things will decide what lenses you need to get. Off the cuff, I mean, both of these lenses, Nikon, Canon, hello, both of these lenses, the 80-400 Nikon and the 100-400 Canon, both need a serious overdo. They're old lenses, but the focal length you cannot beat. For what we want to do, the ability to pull back from a tightly framed subject, just to pull back a little bit, and compose animal in the environment, priceless. Wonderful lens. Yes, it's a slow aperture. Yes, people say it doesn't track fast enough. However, I've shot with the 80-400 Nikon for a long time, and it's versatile. It's easy to carry. It's not like these beasts, and it's great. And unless you're going to try and track birds, not so much. But other than that, The tests they do in laboratories and stuff for tracking is not applied to real life. That's the problem. So don't take those too seriously. Look at the focal length, look at what you need. Horses for courses. I spoke in the last week, I've had about 3 or 4 people online kind of we're throwing ideas around of what lenses they want to buy and this and that. So it's interesting just to see what people want from their lenses and what they think they should get based on online reviews. Engage, come back, speak to photographers, whether it's online, go and meet up for someone with coffee and talk about it. Because if you're going to just read review sites, you're going to spend a bucket load of cash on something you might not need. Right, moving on. As we start wrapping up, I think for this is about it. This week we're going to go back into a bit more blog posting. I've got some interesting things coming up. And now that the world, hopefully as we head towards December, starts turning a little slower with some more time, some more interesting blog posts coming up. Very focused things like, for example, if you take a camera out the box, you cannot just pick it up and start shooting wildlife because the settings are at factory presets. So, for example, the Nikon D7000, wildlife settings you shoot, if you get it out the box, dial these things in, and that's a good starting point for wildlife. Going to do the same with like a 7D. I'm going to have a look at some lenses and a how-to series. So, how to, for example, set your tracking, how to, all of those things we'll look at the coming weeks. And then also rolling over into the new year. It's quite scary, new year already. So yeah, keep an eye on the blog this week. We're going to start picking it up again. Also, what's going to start happening soon, you'll know that on Wednesdays, Phileas Stein does Behind the Frame, where he takes one of his images and he discusses what he likes about it, why he shot it, what went through his mind. Interesting thought process. See, he's engaging. He's telling you about it. Andrew Beck, also from Talking Travel, is going to start doing, also on a Wednesday, drop one in there, Behind the Frame with his thoughts. And the idea again is for you to start seeing different people's work and how they approach their photography. Right. Twitter, you've got us. We're on there. Gerry Vanderwalt and Beck SA and Wild Eye SA. Check it out. Facebook page is growing nicely. Yes, I know the competition is still coming. It's kicking off on the 1st of January. Check out the blog for more details soon. The gallery section will be launching, and then that's going to spill over into ultimately our competition. But fantastic prizes coming up. Make sure you keep an eye open for that one. Then next week we're going to have a quick look at that. Alright? Aquatech hood. Interesting. Curious? Check out more for next week for more. I'll try that again. You see. Alright. That's about it, guys. Oh, before I leave you, almost forgot. Tutorial, like I mentioned last week. We're going to look at Photoshop actions. How you can streamline your Photoshop workflow by creating actions. Remember last week we did presets in Lightroom. It's a single click and it does whatever you've told it to do. Same thing in Photoshop. The tutorial will now, as always, be underneath this video on the website. I think that's about it. Have a good week. I look forward to hearing from you. I will catch you on the flip side. Have a good one.